Good afternoon, fellow traders. It's Black Coffee Trader coming to you on Friday afternoon, March 27th. And another little paper cut day, break-even day, basically 2 accounts green. I got 3 accounts traded today, 1 account red. And yeah, just another, I think the moral of today is just the paper cuts, just taking trades that didn't work and the market just being tricky. You have these moves to the downside and then these pops, like here, you had a nice, about an 80-point pop. Here we had nearly a 100-point pop candle. After we test these lows, it's just this pop up. And it seemed like a lot of dips. You get a little move to the downside and immediately you get a bounce. And it's just like the sellers don't have enough to push the market down, but then by the same token, the buyers don't have enough to keep pushing the market higher. And it makes for a difficult day, even though it looks, in hindsight, when you just look at this, you're like, man, that should be a pretty easy downtrending day. And maybe for some people it was, but for me it was just a little bit difficult. I mean, happy that we had some wins, up a little over 200 on one account and up to about 50 bucks on the other account and down 300 on this one. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Here's today, $120 losing day, only 22% win rate. I think I was 2 for 9. And, nice average win to loss. The win to loss average is good. It's just getting these winners. And I think the other side of that is just like I could have closed quite a few trades today in profit. And there's many trades I could close in profit, but just not much profit. And I am sticking to my strategy, sticking to my rules, and just understanding that that's just the way it's going to be sometimes. And yeah, it just is what it is. Let's look at the trades here real quick. Here you can kind of see, I might not show you all of them in detail. We're going to kind of focus on a couple of them, but a losing trade, one I killed just because I didn't like it. Full loss, break-even trade, and a full loss there. A full loss is 150, so I keep the losers pretty small, and a nice almost $400 winner and about $200 winner there. So, but yeah, just difficult day. First couple of trades here, I took a break and retest short. Again, look at the setup. Here's for those of you that are not familiar, I'm looking for a break and a retest of, in this case, it's this level right here. You have a low coming in here. We pushed down, we tested it, started to push back lower, a couple of red candles, take that trade, pops up, stops me out. Just is what it is. Moving to the next one, maybe I will just run through them real quick and we'll keep this pretty tight. The next one was the same, at the same spot. We had, is that the same trade? No, this is on the Russell. Looking for a breakdown, and once I entered this, I realized I didn't like my size. I wanted my stop to be higher, and so when this did not break down, I just killed the trade, and that's why this is a small loss. It was actually smart because the market pushed back higher, and it would have taken me out for a full loss. So, just paying attention to that. I wanted to get in a little bit quicker, but just by the time I hit the buy button or the not the buy button, but the market order button, I was down a little bit lower on the entry than I wanted to, so killed that trade, which was smart. And then the third trade on the first account, the 108 account, was this one right here. And this one, this was back on the Russell. Here's that first loss, the one that I killed, and then this one here, we pushed higher, and the market started to come back lower. I get back in again thinking, okay, we're going to go now. I mean, everything was there. You have the break, the retest, the move to the downside, and it just rallied. And I got taken out on that one. And then first trade on the next account, which was the 107 account. This one, another losing trade as well. This one was a very, very frustrating trade. Beautiful setup. We had, a lot of these test of the lows, and we couldn't break, and then we pushed higher on this big pop candle. This was on ES, but we had that big push higher, and then you notice here you have a couple of wicks holding cleanly, and then you have a candle pushing strong. If you look at this on the video, it's pushing strong, and that's what prompted the entry, and it just died. It just completely died. So disappointing trade there, but I recognize pretty quickly as we get to the next one This is on the same instrument. This is on ES as well. There you can see that rejection where I got stopped out, and I realized that we had basically done a double test of this level, and this was just a little liquidity grab. And this is, the market does this quite a bit for recently, where it just kind of fakes you out. So I took it short, and then it ended up being a very, very, very good trade, up nearly 360. So really nice trade there. Really happy with the execution on that one. And then we had another couple more break-even trades here on, this is on the Russell. I had 2 trades on the Russell. And this is a testament to, this entry here is, there's a little bit of a lesson here. Notice that we couldn't break these lows. This was the lows of today, something I charted intraday, realizing that we had these lows which corresponded with some lows earlier. And as we broke this, we had this big pop candle on all the markets. And when this candle rejected, I started strongly looking for downside. And I wanted to get in on this retest right there. That's where I really wanted to get into this trade, but I was afraid of one of these pops. And so for that reason, I decided to set I placed an order below this low, thinking that if we fill that, we'll probably continue further. Well, we did continue further, but only temporarily. So let's go to the Russell, and these trades are right here. Here's that entry. The better entry would have been here, and I could have got out of there with probably a 1.5R trade. But the way it was with the entry lower, because of my wariness of these pops, the trade got to just over 1R, reversed back up, took me out break even. I re-entered that trade over here after we rejected. I missed this actually. I missed this trade because I took a stupid trade on the Dow Jones. Got faked on a trade. I'll talk about that one in a minute. But took this one here on this rejection, looking good. And again, gets to 1R, takes me out, and then we start going lower. But again, pops here end of day. So just, it's a little bit difficult price action. And again, like here, I could have closed it at 1R for 150, closed at 1R for 150. There's 300. Could have done that. Instead, I have 2 break-even trades. But it'll put me on tilt if I close that trade at 1R and then it runs to a 2R, 3R target. I would rather take this and be okay with it and understand that, okay, the market was not going at this point, and it just wasn't. I would rather have that than to take a 1R and then see the thing run and really miss out. It does something to me. The other trade I was talking about was this one on the Dow Jones. We had this when we couldn't break these lows, and this was one that was not part of my plan. I wasn't really looking for this. I just noticed that, man, we're starting to push back higher. I wonder if we're going to go back higher instead of lower. And we had this candle right here that started pushing strongly, took the entry. We had that big pop, and then it just rolled over and took me out. It was just a fake out. That was a very, very dumb trade on my part. I felt a little bit stupid about that. And then the last one here was a nice little winning trade on a break and retest to the downside and a nice flush. But again, we couldn't continue. We had to pop back up, and I got a nice little trade. I think that one was like 200. Let's go to TradeZella here. The last trade, yeah, $200 on this one here. And again, just reading the price action, reading the market, we had to pop to the downside, and then, yeah. So, 2 for 9. 2 for 9, 20% win rate. But even with that, even with a 22% win rate, we are almost break even on the day. So that's good. But yeah, just a tough week, tough month. So we'll be back at it again on Monday. Let's kind of take a quick look at where we ended up for the week. And so I lost a couple of accounts. I lost this one, and this one earlier this week. And then on Monday, we had a $400 winner on account number 97. I ended the week up $24 on account number 108 that we traded today, up 200 on account number 107, and up 350 on account number 105. So, and then I suffered a $300 loss today on account 106. So trying to be careful. We'll work on those again on Monday and try to continue to push those along. And hopefully next week we don't lose any funded accounts. I shouldn't. I've got enough drawdown to where we can withstand a couple of losses. And if we do, I need to walk away from an account like I did today. And yeah, so anyway, there you have it. That's the stats for today. That's the stats for the week. Difficult week, but we survived. And that's what we can ask for. So, hey, hope you guys have a good weekend. And thanks again for following along. Appreciate you guys. Take care, and so long.